Money FM 89.3, the best of Saturday mornings. Saturday morning sit down.
There was a Singaporean science teacher. She loved her job, she was great with the students, and she was passionate about the island's biodiversity like me. She decided to build a social media platform around her own character. She called herself Biogirl MJ. And it's become a genuine viral phenomenon. Millions of views every month, a household name to kids across the country. Now she's the face and founder of Just Keep Thinking, an educational media company that's becoming, dare I say it, a little bit of an online media empire. From teacher to online viral sensation, Kong Man Jing, more commonly known as Biogirl MJ, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
How was that? How was that for an introduction?
That was great. Couldn't be better.
So what do you prefer? I mean, your name is Kong Man Jing. Do you prefer Biogirl MJ? I mean, what do you prefer?
MJ's great.
MJ.
Yeah, the Chinese name's a little bit hard to pronounce, so I'll usually stick with MJ.
All right, Biogirl MJ. Let's go back to the beginning. I think this is an extraordinary story. I think it's a really good, feel-good success story. I think it started for you 2016. You visited Singapore's corals. Mm-hmm. Tell us where you were in your life at that point and what happened next.
2016, I was probably, oh my goodness, what was I? I think I was in JC or like pre-university, and I had the chance to go on this 3 days, 2 night camps at St. John's Island. So I think that was my first, foray into Singapore's wilderness. And I was exploring the marine shores, the mangrove, the forest at night. And I was just blown away by the amount of biodiversity that we have. And I was shocked that no one told us any of this since growing up for the past 17 years. So I was like, you know what? This is great. I feel inspired. I want to learn more. And that's where I embarked on the journey in environmental biology. But one of the trips where we went to the marine intertidal shores, and that's where I saw the corals were white. And then I'm like, why were they white? And they're like, oh, that's a sign that actually the corals are not doing really well. The algae body, the whole biology of it. That's where I realized there's a close intersection between nature and also climate. So that sparked my whole entire motivation for going into this module and taking up this, bachelor's degree in environmental biology. And I think, the journey continues.
So you was a teacher first, is that correct?
Oh, yes. So I did study environmental biology, but when I graduated, kind of needed a job. So I went into teaching, which I actually love it a lot more than I expected. Yeah, so meeting with the kids, interacting with them, and then slotting in my own, environmental knowledge within their whole syllabus and curriculum is something that I really enjoy as well. Yeah, I feel like I can make impact anywhere. It doesn't mean you have to be a scientist or you have to be in the environmental field. Even you're a teacher, you're a radio host, you can share anything about, nature and environment and inspire people to, love and protect the environment.
Were you teaching primary, secondary?
I was at a private institution, so both primary and secondary. Yeah, but mainly primary science. They are all the sciences.
So let's talk about the epiphany. It's like a superhero. Where did Biogirl MJ come from? Was there a eureka moment? I mean, what happened? How did science teacher become Biogirl MJ?
Interestingly, there was that, aha moment. I was on a snorkeling trip with my now co-founder, then, other half, and we were snorkeling in a coral reefs of Philippines. Yeah, and I remember while waiting for the boat out, there was a dead coral fragment from the ground, and I picked it up and I started blabbering to him. He was filming on a GoPro. Yeah, so I was like, look at this coral, look at this, this is skeleton, the small little round holes are the corallite. So I'm naturally a yapper. I like to point out random wildlife things around me and yap to whoever's around me. So he kind of caught that moment on camera, and while after the program and we went back, he was looking through the footage. He's like, this is interesting. I think I'm learning a lot. I think the way you explained is quite entertaining. And I was like, okay. What should we do about it? And then he's like, shall we turn it into a video? Yeah, so it was just that one serendipitous moment, a random, okay, let's just do it. And our first video got out. It got 15,000 views for a channel with 0 following. And that's where we realized, okay, I think there's a good part of the audience in Singapore.
And was you calling yourself Biogirl MJ yet, or did that persona come later?
No, we wanted a character name, so we did give the character called like Biogirl MJ, but I've never called myself Biogirl MJ ever for the past like 3 years.
Okay.
So I always refer myself as MJ, but people kind of know me as Biogirl MJ.
And so that first video, you said it got like 15,000 views around there. And what were you getting comments? What were some of the comments you were getting? And this is a video about corals, is that correct?
No, our first video was actually about searching the bioweaver's nest. The coral was is very random. So the first proper one where we scripted, it's at Coney Island. It was really sweet. Like there were some of the comments were saying like, "Oh, Biogirl MJ is my new superhero." I was like, "Oh my!" Then. So people actually enjoyed it. They said they didn't know that we had, such places in Singapore. They didn't know like the bioweaver built such intricate nests. Yeah, and they really enjoyed learning through videos, but yet being entertained at the same time. So I think that's like really the sweet spot that we managed to hit.
And so your first viral video, if you don't mind me asking, how old were you at that time when the first viral video hit, roughly?
It was during COVID period, so that's about 4 years ago. I was like 28, 27?
Okay.
Oh, no, 27, yeah.
So 27 years old, you suddenly got this viral video. What happened next? Were you shocked? Were you surprised? I mean, was it an immediate, right, we need to go into this social media platforming?
So when the first viral video hit, I was obviously happy. And I mean, this is a common mistake. So like, you kind of think like, okay, the next video could be like equally viral, which is usually not the case. Yeah. So we were excited. It definitely motivated us to create more videos and see where it might bring us to. But it wasn't, viral video doesn't equate to, you getting in client and turning into business as of yet. So we're just trying to push on and keep creating more videos just to see where it goes and continue to grow our following. I think that was the main goal at that point of time. Yeah. So not so much about, okay, I should leave my job and then do this full time. So
well, I was going to ask that. Did you quit your job, or was there a period where you were straddling both, still teaching, still making the videos? Because now I know it's a full-time thing, right? But at that time, what was the process?
When the first viral video hit, obviously I was still having my full-time job. So, I was happy, but I still enjoyed my job, and I actually planned to stay on there and climb the corporate ladder. So, I think it came to a point after a year from the viral video, and we started to gain more following, and then when the clients started to come in, and that's where things got a bit more serious, and I find myself struggling a lot. Like in the daytime, weekdays at night, I would do my channel stuff, and then weekends are all burned to film. So that's where I realized, okay, I think this is a point where I need to make a decision on whether I should take on handling the channel full time. Yeah, so I think about a few months after the COVID period, that's where I decided to transition into full-time, take the leap of faith. But that's also like looking at the cash flow and then what makes sense for me, and not just jumping in without thinking.
And what were some of the challenges? Because to be frank, it's biodiversity, it's wildlife, it's all the things I love. But let's be frank, it's not branded handbags, it's not perfumes, which can be sometimes an easier sell on social media platforms. Sure. So what were some of the challenges initially?
I think you're absolutely right on that point. Like especially on social media, when people go to social media, they want to be entertained. They want to have the brain rot moments and laugh at funny dances. So to put something education out on social media is a little bit like, is it enjoyable? Am I going to be entertained? So, making sure that there's a balance between education and entertainment was always a challenge. But I find that that's what motivates me, because I really want to create educational videos that is also palatable and lighthearted enough for everyone to watch and enjoy at the same time. So it's something I enjoy. I feel like it motivates me to do even better videos every single day. Yes.
And what sort of views do your videos get now on average?
Oh wow. It does fluctuate a lot and depends on platform, which is very interesting. So, like viral videos on Instagram that can have millions of views, right? And then when you go on to TikTok, it's like, the views drop. So, average, anywhere between 40 to 60,000 views. But once in a while, we have viral ones, a few times a month, and that will go to like 200,000 to 300,000.
We're talking to Kong Man Jing, more commonly known as Biogirl MJ or just MJ, content creator of this huge biodiversity social media platform where you were just saying you can get hundreds of thousands of views, sometimes millions of views. Can you tell in advance which kind of videos are going to go viral? Because you know the cliche, you and I are both working in biodiversity. I'm on the Jane Goodall Institute board. If it's an otter, it's cute. If it's a monkey, it can be less cute, depending on the circumstances. So do you have an inkling this video is going to do well or this video may be a tougher sell?
No, surprisingly, no. So that's the crazy about social media. You can put all your efforts and hard work into this one video, and it might not become it might not have a lot of views at the end of the day. And then some other video that you didn't really care much about, it went viral. So I think every video I just do my best and convey the message that I really want to bring it to the audience in the best way possible. Yeah, and just hope for the best. I mean, even if it doesn't go viral, that's fine. Ultimately the goal is to really share the knowledge and information, and I can always come back and relook the content and see how I can improve on it. Yeah, so no, there's actually no way to tell. After doing this for years, I'm things are really random out there.
What are some of your highlights? Some of your best, most watched videos so far?
Oh, our best, most watched video. Just last year, I'm not sure if you remember, there was a huge monsoon, Sumatra squall, monsoon surge in Singapore in August. That one night where the storm just came and swept past Singapore, and within an hour it was gone. So I remember looking at the storm, and I was looking at, the cloud radar, and I was like, okay, this is something interesting, and everyone was asking what the heck is going on. And in that moment, right, even though everyone was rushing back home, I was looking up in the sky, I was like, you know what, let's film something. So we filmed, edited, posted a video within an hour, and that video got a million plus views.
Wow.
Yeah, and then we went on a radio interview because I think someone saw the video and wanted to interview us to share more about the Sumatra squall situation on air. So I think that's really interesting. Sometimes you gotta strike when the iron is hot, and when you give people answers that they need. And especially when things like climate, finally people are caring about the weather. Yeah. That's why I'm going to okay, let me tell you more about it since you're asking right now.
Well, let's focus on that, right? Let's focus on the deeper, more serious issues. In 2023 alone, the world experienced world-breaking heat waves in Asia, North America, Europe, China. In Singapore, the mercury reached a staggering 37 degrees that year, equaling a 40-year record for highest daily temperatures. As you know, we're sitting here right now, and Europe is breaking all kinds of unwanted heat records in the likes of Spain and elsewhere. What is your take on the climate emergency?
My take is that it's a real and threatening issue. I'm still shocked at when I hear people not believing in the climate impacts. I do feel that there's a lot more that the world can do, and we are not moving as fast as we hope for. Yes, and I think there's a lot of focus on the mitigation part of it, and I feel like the adaptation part is pretty much lacking. So there's something that I hope people will take a look at, because the ones that are disproportionately affected are the Southeast Asian countries. Now clearly, everywhere else is affected, and I think adaptation is a very big part that people often forget and overlook. And I think it's clear that we are all suffering the impact. So while we try to find the cool and technological ways, to absorb carbon emissions and come up with new green technology, I think it's important to look at how we are going to protect the people right now and how we're going to make sure everyone adapts to the situation. I feel like that's very much overlooked, and clearly we are all suffering from the impacts.
Yeah, fantastic. Okay, negatives and positives. We'll do the negatives first. Are enough Singaporeans listening? Because the common argument I get is, we're small. Whatever changes I make, personally, are not going to make any difference globally. We're a tiny little red dot. If I switch to, becoming vegetarian, or I take the MRT instead of having a car, what kind of difference am I really making? We're small. It's a waste of time. That's the cynical argument. What would you say to that?
I think I first I have to acknowledge, the point that they raised up, the fact that we are small and collectively, we are not the biggest emitter. But I think there's a lot more that Singapore can offer, and I feel like we have made our mark in the international stage as the country that is reliable. We do what we say, we put out there. We do not say things that we don't fulfill at the end of the day. And in terms of being the finance hub and being the regional hub for Asia and mobilizing the ASEAN countries to chip in. And we have launched a few initiatives. I mean, I can go on about like Fast P and stuff, where we're trying to encourage private investment and then reducing the risk so that other countries can chip in and of course build their climate resilience. I feel like Singapore has a lot to offer despite our small state. And if we don't do it now, we will suffer a lot more in the future. So when we do even small things and small habits, I feel like on top of just the habits alone, the physical part of it, it's also like prepping our minds and training us to adapt to the new normal and having that habit of, like just reducing our single-use plastics, reducing disposables. And when that becomes a habit, it becomes second nature. And I feel like we have to build that culture in Singapore. People always compare us, like with other countries, and they forgot to realize it's culture also, right? It takes years and years to cultivate it. And if we want to get there and we aspire to be there, we need to start now. And hence, we have to do all this. So it might not amount to anything, but collectively it does. And it's more like we're trying to build a culture, the next generation of people that will, put environment first and have sustainability as part of their lifestyle.
I love that pragmatism. I love it. All right, let's focus on the positives. I saw you recently at the Festival of Biodiversity outside the National Library. Honestly, I thought you were a K-pop band or, BTS, Taylor Swift, any analogy you like. You were mobbed by young, and that's the key word, young Singaporeans. And I think that's so wonderful what you're doing. You're having such a positive impact on young people in Singapore. What's your presence like with young Singaporeans, and what is the reach like of your videos and content now with young people?
By young people, you mean like youths?
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, because you seem to have a huge presence amongst school-age children.
That's the surprising part, because when we first started the channel, I want to reach out to the young adults, the teenagers. But apparently a lot of young parents enjoy watching our content and they show it to their kids. Or either their kids watch and show it to their parents. So I was very pleasantly surprised by that outcome, because I'm like, you know what? I'm hitting 2 generations at once. Let's go. So the kids really, really enjoy, and they're a bit more vocal. So when they do see me out there, they will like rush towards me, and they'll come and talk to me. They'll attend my events or any programs that I have. So I got the opportunity to meet all of them. Yeah, so I'm really, really happy that I'm able to target this younger generation of people in Singapore. And also like going to schools, they are a bit more motivated to see someone that they recognize on stage, so they are kind of paying attention when I'm talking about climate change.
Of course.
It's someone like they don't really know. So I think in the educators side, they're also very happy to use my videos and to bring someone to their school, someone that the students will recognize and be more excited to listen to. So, and of course amongst the youths, they have been very amazing, and I think they're more open to try and use social media as a form of communication tool, which I feel was sorely like lacking for like the past 10 years or so, at least when I was still studying. But now, it opens up a lot of avenues. Like everyone can create media, everyone can create content, and you can share, what you would like the world to hear.
So you're encouraging young people to make their own videos, their own biodiversity videos and content and so on. Oh,
yes, of course. In fact, we have like master classes for content creation. And
not
only to students, but also educators. They are very interested in like learning from us. So we did hold a few sessions where it includes like video editing, TikTok, demographics.
So that is part of your new company that you have. It's called Just Keep Thinking, an educational media company. In the first year, you had something like 66,000 followers on Instagram. Now you've got over 250,000 followers. You get almost 50,000 views on every one of your videos. It's an absolutely explosive content creating platform. How did you do it?
Oh, wow. That's a tough one, especially knowing that I just started because I just love to yap. We didn't really have a game plan. I didn't aspire to become a content creator. But I feel maybe that's the key, right? I just genuinely wanted to share my knowledge with the people. I don't really have aspirations to be famous myself. If anything, is because I want people to know more about what I can share.
We're still chatting with Kong Man Jing, the Biogirl MJ content creator. If you want any questions or queries for MJ, send them in now. WhatsApp 88550893. So, as I was just saying, you have this Just Keep Thinking educational media company. What was the thinking behind that? What did you see the gap maybe in the market that you thought you could fill?
Yes. So with the company Just Keep Thinking, it started, we created a company and it is Biogirl MJ. And the thought process was that, just in case next time I do want to create other channels that's maybe not like science or environment related, then Just Keep Thinking will like be the parent company. So there's a bit of like foresight there. But also we don't really want to be, like a preachy channel, that is like focused on extreme advocacy. We wanted to share the facts, share the knowledge, to hook people in and they learn and they can make their own decisions at the end of the day. So we want people to think more about the world around them, and just have these thoughts in mind, but they can make, the final decision by themselves. So that's hence the name Just Keep Thinking.
So I have to ask the blunt question. We are Money FM. You have this media company. Where does your money come from? Is it from educational side? Is it from corporates, or a bit of both?
Good question. So currently for Just Keep Thinking, we have the media arm and the programs arm. So all along, the media side is the one that's ongoing, and that is the main thing that sustains our company. So just like any other influencer, actually, the model works the same. You have a client coming in, they do want to, share this particular campaign, or they want to share this message. Sometimes even products, but for our channel, we don't really do that many products because we're not really a product-driven channel. So that's where they will engage us. So in Singapore, for content creators, I would say a good more than 90% of them is probably surviving through sponsorship. Of course, we don't have, views like YouTube. We do, but you kind of need to have millions of views. And usually Singaporean content creators don't really reach that level, except for one. So it's mainly sponsorship, which is great because I feel like we kind of bridge the gap between maybe public agencies or some of the corporates out there who might have very good things going on with them, but they just don't know how to communicate that effectively out to the audience. So that's where we come and be the bridge between them and the audience, and we share in a more effective manner so that, it's a win-win for everyone. Yeah.
Fantastic.
And yes, the program side is, school programs, public guided tours, learning journeys, content creation masterclasses. So, those is the program arm. But I would say it's a small percentage. It's more like a passion side project for me. Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay. Focus on the positives to finish. Climate change, it's so big, it's so threatening, it's so existential. Sometimes our listeners think there's literally nothing I can do. We're in Singapore, we feel so hopeless. Give our listeners maybe 2 or 3 tips, everyday things that they can do that would make a positive difference.
Okay. So, one really interesting thing that I think people don't realize is that I know we are all using aircon now, right? So if you turn on the fan mode, you're actually using a lot less electricity. If you increase the temperature, like you really have to use the air conditioner, if you increase temperature by even 1 degree Celsius, you're saving 30% of electricity. So every 1 degree actually makes a big difference. So do what you can. And there's this thing called consumer choice. I think it's really, really powerful, and we have seen changes around the world. So the choice that you make, who you choose to support, which company you choose to buy the products, whether it's more environmental friendly, that can make a very big difference, because that's a signal to bigger companies out there where the demand is coming from. So if we gradually shift our choices and signal to them that we want companies to be better, to create services or products that's more environmentally friendly, then that's where the money will go to. So I feel like consumer choice is a very underrated privilege that we all should treasure, and we all should use to the best of our abilities. Yes, and I think that the greatest threat to the planet is the belief that someone else will save it. So even though you might feel like you're small, you cannot do anything, once you have that thought, then no one's going to do much. I could have not started the channel, but just like by starting the channel, I realized the impact that I could have. And when I continued, it became something bigger. So if you never try, you never know.
Fantastic. Right. Last question. You were all over my social media feeds again this week. You went viral in a big way this week, didn't you? Because of, and it's very fitting in the 50th anniversary of the movie Jaws, you did a shark video that went everywhere. Everyone's been seeing it. Everyone's been talking about it. Tell us about this shark video you did, because it's fantastic.
Oh wow, that was a golden moment for me as well. So I was doing an offshore guided tour. It's like an intertidal tour where I bring people to our marine shores and get them to see our marine life up close, which you often don't get to do so in Singapore. So, and then from the corner I was like, okay, there's some sharks like there's some fins swirling around, and then some of my team members who were nearer, they're like, sharks, there's a swarm of sharks swimming. I was like, oh, no way. So we all like gathered there, and like, it's just so amazing to see the apex predator thriving in our ocean, and that's a good sign that the ocean ecosystem is healthy enough, right, to support such a big predator. So we're all just staring at the swarm of sharks for like 30 minutes or so. Not sure what they were doing, but I figured out that they're probably hunting together. Yeah, because we saw like fishes, mullets jumping out of the water. I was like, okay, they kind of do like a whole group hunt so that they can get the biggest catch of it all. Yeah, but I'm so grateful, to see them around. And I mean, some of the comments were like, I'm gonna avoid that. And I'm like, actually, most of the sharks here are really like, they're just being wild animals, and they're not really aggressive as long as you don't disturb them. But I'm happy that people get to know that we have such a cool animal in Singapore. But most importantly, we have so much to protect within our ecosystem.
Beautiful. If our listeners want to see that shark video and any of your other fantastic biodiversity content, where should they go?
You can find us at Just Keep Thinking on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, or TikTok. Yeah, so on Instagram, we Just Keep Thinking SG. Yeah.
Fantastic. Kong Man Jing, more commonly known as Biogirl MJ, content creator, the champion of Singapore's biodiversity. Thank you for coming on our show.
To listen to more great interviews, download our podcasts at audio.sg or download the audio app. That's AWEDIO, audio at the App Store and Google Play.